Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack. Today is pack number 9 in the Magic the Gathering Amonkhet Bundle Bingo. Check out my preview video for the explanation on how this Amonkhet Bundle Bingo will work. I've added the link to the preview video in the description below. So here we are with pack number 9. Got a chance to get bingo today. Only got 2 more packs left. 9 and 10 are left to go. So we got censored last time around. So we've got a couple of different ways that we can get bingo. We can get it by getting one of the Amonkhet gods. We can get it by getting Bantu's Monument. We can get it by Dread Wanderer. So blackout is probably out of the question, but we've got a shot at getting bingo today. And that would be awesome because in my Fat Pack bingo with the Core 2014 set, Core set 2014, I didn't reach it. So as I get into this pack, my commentary is going to be based from a very casual Magic the Gathering player point of view. So I think it's a unique way to look at cards. And after I open the pack, we'll choose the best card out of the pack, or my favorite card. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't, but it's going to be fun. So let's crack this pack. And as we can see, blue is going to highlight the start of the pack again. So 2 mana, we've got a Talkrop Skirmisher, 1 in a blue. It's a Naga Warrior that's a 2/1. You can embalm for 4 or 3 in a blue. So not too bad of a card. In an aggro blue deck, it wasn't too bad. You'd play it on turn 2, you'd have a 2/1, and then for 4 mana, you could get a 2/1 back. So wasn't the best, but it was middle of the run. Bloodlust Insider, single red, Human Warrior. It's a 1/1. Tap and target creature gains haste until end of turn. Yeah, this was an underrated card in the red-white aggro decks. This card did a ton of work. You play it on turn 1, turn 2, you play your 2-drop, give it haste. Turn 3, you play your 3-drop, give it haste. Turn 4, etc. It really worked well with Exert. You could right off the bat play a creature that was a little overpowered because of Exert and just beat down the opponent. So, great card. Sacred Cat, 1 mana. It's a white cat, 1/1 lifelink, and then embalm for a single mana. I like Sacred Cat a ton. I played it a lot in Amonkhet kind of Hour of Devastation. Currently, I run it in a Pioneer deck. It's a cat deck, and it's just a great 1-drop. It blocks, it dies, you embalm it, you bring it back. It allows me to get to the end game where I play Regal Caracal or a couple of other cats that beef my cats and help me win the game. So Bloodlust Insider and Sacred Cat, 2 1-drops that did a lot of work. Great cards. Honorary Kudu, 3 mana, 2 and a green. It's an antelope at 3/4. When Honorary Kudu enters the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature you control. So kind of middle of the pack for the green, black, -1 counter deck. I played it some. A 3 mana 3/4 was okay. Usually you had another creature you got it earlier that you could put the counter on. Even if this got a counter at 2/3, wasn't too bad. It wasn't the best, but it was a middle of the road card as well. Cursed Minotaur. Now this is a 3-drop, different story that I really liked. Did a lot of work. 2 and a black. You get a zombie Minotaur. It's a 3/2 with Menace. Menace makes a difference in an aggro black deck, even if you pair it with black-red, even a little bit faster kind of black-white zombie deck. This card did a lot of work, and I liked it quite a bit. Wasteland Scorpion was another 3-drop that was really good. 2 and a black, you get a Scorpion that's a 2/2 with Death Touch, and then it has Cycling 2. So another great card. I would pair these 2 together quite frequently as my 3-drops in a draft deck or even a sealed deck. And Scorpion did a lot of work. Late game, if you played it, it was great. It had Death Touch. Early game, if you played it, was great. It had Death Touch. And in a pinch, if you needed a draw card, you could cycle it for 2 and maybe get a land or another card that you needed for the next turn. Emberhorn Minotaur, 4 mana, 3 and a red. It's a Minotaur Warrior that's a 4/3. You may exert Emberhorn Minotaur as it attacks. When you do, it gets +1/+1, gains Menace until end of turn. So this was kind of top of the curve of the red-white aggressive decks. You'd play like 1 copy of it. It could get in for the last bit of damage. It's a 5/4 Menace. Like I've said in previous videos, red-white was just way too overpowered, too fast, and a lot of times really hard to deal with. Those Who Serve, 3 mana, 2 and a white zombie. It's vanilla 2/4. No, This just never cut it. Even in blue-white flyers or a slow dirtly deck, if you could survive that long, sure. The problem with it is if it was your only creature you played on turn 3 and you're facing an aggressive deck, most of the time this creature couldn't block. It would just sit there and die. So it was slow and didn't like it. Another 3-mana card, Scribe of the Mindful. 2 and a blue, you get a human cleric, 2/2. You can pay 1 generic, tap, and then sacrifice it, and you can return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, this had shenanigans written all over it, and I liked to try to make it work. It just never panned out. Too slow, and a lot of times you needed that 2/2, you needed that blocker, you needed that creature to stick around so that you could, win the game or survive. Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation most of the time ended up being a creature-heavy strategy, and so, yeah, Scribe of the Mindful is way too slow and usually died before you could even do some shenanigans with it. Supernatural Stamina, single black, it's an instant until end of turn. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So this is a pretty cool combat trick. I used it quite frequently. For a single black mana, you give your creature +2/+0. It would take out the opposing creature, then it would return to the battlefield under my control. So it was a good combat trick. A lot of the times it was more of a defensive combat trick than it was an offensive combat trick. So it's something to take out maybe a slightly bigger creature on the opponent's side, but maintain your creature. Our first uncommon is Start to Finish. So 3 mana, 2 and a white. Instant, create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens with vigilance. And then finish was 2 and a black. Sorcery, you cast it from your graveyard with Aftermath. As an additional cost to cast finish, sacrifice a creature, destroy target creature. So basically you get like a, the front side is your, why can't I think of the name of the card? Where you create a couple of 1/1 soldier creature tokens, rally, can't think of the name of it. And the backside is a Bone Splinters. It was a fine enough card. I mean, you create a couple of 1/1s that were blockers, then you'd usually on your next turn sacrifice one of those to kill off a creature. It had its utility. It's a little too slow. It doesn't have as much utility in some of the casual constructed formats, but it definitely was a card that in a black-white strategy helped you along. Okay, Trial of Solidarity. I think this is the first trial that we've seen. So for 3 mana, 2 and a white, you get an enchantment. When Trial of Solidarity enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +2/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. When a cartouche enters the battlefield under your control, return Trial of Solidarity to its owner's hand. So yeah, there were some shenanigans with this. Basically in a red-white aggressive deck, you'd have Cartouche of Zeal, which was a 1-drop red, gave your creature +1/+1 and haste, and then a target creature couldn't be blocked. So you'd play that, you'd play this, pump all your team, and then you'd play the cartouche on your next turn, bounce the trial back to your hand, replay the trial, and finish off your opponent. So Trial of Solidarity was one of the little bit stronger ones, and hopefully we might see another trial. But really cool flavor-wise, you'd play a trial, it would give some sort of bonus, you'd play cartouche, bounce the trial back to your hand, replay the trial. So there's some good synergies there. Next uncommon is Trial of Knowledge. Okay, so 2 in a row. It's a 4-drop, 3 and 1 blue. When Trial of Knowledge enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. When a cartouche enters the battlefield under your control, return Trial of Knowledge to its owner's hand. I wanted to like this card a ton as well. Tried to play it a few times and pair it with a cartouche. A lot of times it was just too slow. Once again, it was too slow because Amonkhet was way too aggressive. It's something that I wouldn't mind trying nowadays and maybe a constructed build. The problem is finding the right match between it and another cartouche. And unfortunately, the cartouche and this trial cycle, they're too parasitic. They're stuck with an Amonkhet, kind of Hour of Devastation, and so until there are other cartouches or trials or similar type effects in future Magic sets, unfortunately it's going to stay too much to Amonkhet. All right, will we be able to hit bingo? Come on, bingo. Come on, bingo. Come on, bingo. No. We got one of the poopier rares in the set. So Heaven to Earth. Heaven is X generic and green. It's an instant. Heaven deals X damage to each creature with flying. And then Earth is Aftermath, so X generic, and then 2 red. Earth deals X damage to each creature without flying. So this just doesn't make sense in a green-red deck. Usually those are going to be creature heavy, so I guess if you're playing against a Flyers deck, it's going to wreck all the Flyers. Then on the backside, I don't know, you don't really want to cast Earth because you're going to kill off all your creatures, and then vice versa. This card just simply did not make sense in my mind in green and red. Never played it, never had the desire to play it. Probably one of my least favorite rares in all of Amonkhet. And then we've got an island and an advertisement card. Couldn't even get a cool token, got a stupid advertisement card. So, favorite card in this set, in this pack. I think I've already covered that guy and that guy, so a few of the rares. Probably it's start to finish. Not too many of these cards, aside from like Bloodlust Insider or Sacred Cat, go too well outside of the Amonkhet block, but start to finish was a great card. You'd play the front half, get yourself a couple of tokens on your opponent's turn because it was an instant, and then you could finish off one of their creatures on your turn. Even though it was sorcery speed, the other thing is you didn't have to play it right then. It could sit in your graveyard, and I hated playing against it because early on in the game, I didn't want to get my bigger creatures out there because I could see Finish sitting in the graveyard, and I figured, well, it's just a matter of time until Finish is going to kill off this creature. So it was a cool card in getting a couple of blockers, but also as a reminder, sitting there in the graveyard, anytime I play one of my bombs, it's going to pop it off. So definitely in Draft and Sealed, it was a great card. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Take some time to tell me in the comments section what was your favorite or best card out of the pack. Until next time, when I'm back to crack the very last pack in my Magic the Gathering Amonkhet Bundle Bingo.